Hello, I'm Lee Schwan, and this is my sign name. Welcome to this Deaf What interview. We're interviewing Ramesh Arya, and this is his sign name. Thank you for joining us in this interview. We're here to learn more about who you are. Can you tell us more about who you are? Yes, my name is Ramesh. I'm from Montreal, Canada, but I was born in London, England. I grew up there until the age of 7 when I moved here to Canada. I attended a Montreal oral school for the deaf, and that's where I learned how to speak. I wanted to learn how to speak. My friends at school were a mixture of hearing and deaf kids. I started signing late in life, at age 18. I was mainstream in the hearing world until I was interested in joining the deaf world through someone I knew. I didn't know how to sign. Did you sign in ASL or LSQ? ASL. It was a stumbling start into learning ASL. I wasn't used to it. As time went on, I started learning a little bit of LSQ. LSQ was late in life, but I liked it, and I loved Montreal too. There's a good community here. The people are friendly and peaceful. There's no problems. It's about the same as England, UK. We moved here because of me. There was no oral school. They only had BSL deaf schools. My family moved as a consideration to me. I feel grateful. When did you start feeling good about using ASL? Feeling as if it was better than speech? When did you start feeling comfortable? Well, no, I like both. I prefer both. Oh, you prefer both. And most importantly, you feel comfortable with both. Yes, growing up in school, I was practically hearing. At first, I learned orally, and then I joined a deaf class. After that, it was time for me to move on to a new step so that I could switch between speaking and signing. I like both. And that's totally all right. How did COVID impact you as an actor? Well, masks. We all wore masks. Whenever I went on as a background actor, I would work in a mask. When I was called to act, I would take off my mask. I followed other people's actions, like when they took their masks off. Some other people would help and tell me when to take off my mask, and I'd put it in my pocket. After, when the director calls cut, we would put our masks back on. Other people would tell me, and I would follow along with what other people do. Teamwork. The hearing folks would help me understand. They knew who I was and that I was deaf. Meaning a mask on the interpreter hired? No, not at all. I could understand when they speak, and they would tell me verbally what to do. How did you communicate with masks on? They took down their masks when they spoke, standing at a distance. Some would type on their phones to make it easy. Before we start acting, I let them know that I'm deaf. They know. They see my name, Ramesh, and they know that I'm deaf. And it's been that way for a long time. Good. Can you tell me about your experience as an actor? My girlfriend helped me get into acting. For a long time, I did not work. I was on disability benefits. I have a problem in my neck. I cannot lift heavy items while working. I was bored doing nothing. My girlfriend found a call for submissions in background acting. I didn't know the name of the company, so I went ahead and applied. My nephew acted before too. He acted in the X-Men movie. I thought that was interesting. He did not speak and was an actor. They only showed his face. I asked him how he got into it. My brother told me how, and I kept that in mind. A year later, my girlfriend pointed out that ad. They needed background actors. And I didn't know the name of the movie. I decided to email them my availability and that I was interested. I also told them my skin was brown, and they emailed me a day after and said, "Welcome." It was immediate. They needed racialized people. I asked them what the name of the movie was, and they said I'd be surprised. I went on set, and it was X-Men. X-Men! They needed my consent to shave my hair and shave my body. They needed Egyptian people who were tan and bald, so I did that, and I liked it. After 4 days, they needed me again for 4 days. I was happy to work again. How did I feel? I liked it. There continued to be more opportunities, and I continued to be interested. I never gave up. I kept doing it since 2015. When did you start? 2015? Until now. That's cool. It's amazing that you've been on set of X-Men. Yeah, over the course of time, there have been different opportunities. The number of opportunities fluctuates, but now it's limited. With COVID, I understand and I follow the rules. I can't be emotional about it. I have to accept, be aware, and patient. Things will turn out okay later. Yeah. What do you love about acting? I love army acting. Army acting and performance. I've experienced acting as part of the army, police. There's more acting than just acting like a civilian. As a police officer, you have to act in a role. I prefer that over walking like a civilian in the background. Acting a role in different characters, it's fascinating. Very fascinating, yes. You can view my acting samples on YouTube. I really like it. Do you have any advice for deaf people who want to become actors? I want to encourage that. I see many hearing actors, and I encourage deaf people to come and act too. Most deaf people brush it off and are not interested. It's good money. You don't need experience. All are welcome. They brush it off, and I let them go. There's this person, Ryan, who was very interested and wanted to know how. So I questioned his interest. Seriously? Seriously, he was interested. I helped him and only gave him one piece of advice, and the next opportunity, he did it himself. He found his start in the career, he meant his interest, and I'm happy to help. Right now with my time, I'm not going to ask other people. It's important for people to empower themselves to do it. I burn myself out by asking others. I want them to do it themselves. It's important to share resources and let others decide whether to take it or not. Yes, I like that. Exactly. Can you tell me about your experience as a hockey referee? Yes. I've played hockey since 1980, age 10. I played in a hearing league growing up. I injured my back at age 22 from hockey. I wanted to get back into it, but I couldn't because of the pain. My hearing friends told me that I could still referee it. They thought I could referee it? They told me just try it. Fine, I went ahead and tried. Sometimes I make mistakes, of course. It's normal. You learn by making mistakes and then improve over time. Right. I really liked it as I kept doing it. Hearing people were confused. How can a deaf person referee? They think that deaf people couldn't hear the whistle. They didn't know how we could do it. I told them I could see penalties by visually observing what things meant and why the other whistle blew. I got better over time as I kept going. It was easy. They think that deaf people couldn't do it, but they really can by using their eyes to visually absorb and analyze the surroundings. Show you can do it. Yes, right. When did you start refereeing? I started working as a referee in 1993. 1993 until now. Wow. Still? Still. Right now I'm taking time off for 6 months because I broke my scapula from a professional hockey incident. So, I took some time off. I went to therapy, and I'm learning to be careful with it. I hope to be back, but I never quit, so I still go back. Nice. Do you have any challenges as a deaf referee? Challenges? None that I can think of, really. Like in a hockey game. You whistle a penalty and others might have overlooked you? Or in places that cause you to miss something. You've mentioned making mistakes earlier. What were they? Mistakes like offside, icing. Icing means mistakes by not paying attention. You have to wake up your eyes and look around constantly. You improve over time and you pick it up pretty fast. That means it's crucial for you to sleep well the night before, so that on the day of, you're able to be on high alert. Yes, most of the time the games are held at nights, sometimes in the afternoons. College and high school hockey games are sometimes held in the afternoon, at around 3 or 4. Hearing league hockey games tend to happen at nights. It's pretty easy. Do you only referee the leagues? I referee both professional hearing adult and not adult leagues. School and college hockey games are also professional. People think adult hockey playing is funny, but no, I'm serious. Serious? Oh, I understand. Professional hockey referee. I am licensed. Can you tell us more about other experiences you have, like as the president of AATPSQ? The name is French, and it's for the Friendly Association Poker Championship for the Deaf in Quebec, since 2009. It's a nonprofit. I encourage deaf people to come. I welcome any deaf people who enjoy playing poker. I want people to feel happy. I've hosted it for a long time. Why do you like poker? It's fun. It's fun. Is it fun? With a good crowd, it's fun. But is there a lot of strategizing and challenges? Yeah, the competition gets heated. There's some bluffing and it's fun. There's no arguments involved. I'm lucky. It's fun, and it's about luck. It's almost like how hockey and poker are different forms of games. You enjoy physical and mental games. Yes, you're right. Third, you balance yourself by practicing with your mind and body, and acting. I like quite a bit of different things. I keep myself busy. It keeps you busy and keeps you young, too. Yes, poker's been on hold for 2 or 3 years because of COVID, with limited access. I hope it comes back as soon as possible. Fingers crossed. Is AATPSQ an annual or monthly event? Before COVID, I mean. It's hosted 2 times a year. Oh, twice a year. In April and November. Where is it hosted? In Montreal. Ah, Montreal. It was hosted at a deaf club before that was called CLSM. It's no longer up and running. There's now a new place called Playground Poker Club. And it's on Indigenous land. It's been going well, but now I hope to come back as soon as possible. Are people from Ontario or Canada welcome? Montreal, Canada, America, all are welcome. Do you have any tips for new poker players? Yes. Poker players that come to a place that I host, I thank them for coming, and then I give them clothing, caps. There's sponsorship merch from our 4 or 5 companies from the US that I personally write letters to support us. I ask them to support us not in a monetary support, but support in clothings, hats, etc., to have proof for honest transactions. It's important to get things as gifts, and they accept it, and I've been doing it since 2009. They like that we put down reasonable costs and thank deaf people for coming. Do you have any other things that bring you joy? My girlfriend, she helps a lot. She helps turn negativity into positivity. She's deaf, French, and uses LSQ. We've been together for 13 years now. Wow, I love her. It's important to support and share understanding. It's more about respect, trust, and working together for a happy life. It's been good. My girlfriend is wonderful. Without her, those things wouldn't have happened. She knows I have things to do. She uplifts me and tells me it's important to be happy and to have fun. She knows what I do for my hobbies and she accepts it. Her hobbies are hers. It's good. Do you have any thoughts you want to share with the hearing world? Yes. I want to show that deaf people can do things. Don't think that deaf people can't. We can. I'll show you some proof, for example. This is shown worldwide. I also have this, too. Wow, you're famous! I wish. I'm not famous, but to show you. Yeah, that's good. They think we can't, but no. Read. This is a French magazine, but to show you that we can. That quote said, "Nothing is impossible," which means everyone can do it, including deaf people. Yeah, I show this often. Yeah. This means hearing people can wake up and realize it's not that we can't, because look at this article. Yes, I think as a role model to the deaf people, they need you to look up to as a guide to push themselves. Yes, to uplift them. Yeah. Do you have any thoughts you want to share with the deaf community? Deaf community. To be honest, the deaf community keeps asking me too many questions on how I do it. Think, if you want to know how it works, check Google, read. If you don't understand, I can help you. You don't need to ask me too many questions. I'm not responsible for you. It's important that you do it yourself. You have a computer. You have the internet. You just need to look. You prefer them to invest in themselves first, and then if they're stuck, they could ask you, instead of asking all the time. Right. Understandable. Thank you, Ramesh, for interviewing with us at the Deaf What Legacy Project. We also want to thank and acknowledge the Canada Council of the Arts for funding this project. Thank you, Ramesh. Thank you for interviewing me.